Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a DIY Crunchie, aka cat scrunchie, and it's made out of crochet. Look at that. These are the cat ears, and this is your scrunchie. It's super fun and easy to make, and it's a simple crochet, so even if you don't know how to crochet or you haven't crocheted before, it's super easy to do, and it can only take you about like 15 minutes total. So super excited. Let's get started. Okay, for this DIY craft, the materials you're going to use is one hair tie, one color of yarn, another color of yarn for the color of the ears that you want, and a crochet hook. This one is a size 1. Let's get started. If you're wondering where I got my yarn and crochet hook from and the hair ties simply got them at the dollar store for $1. And the yarn I got at my grandma's house. And the crochet hook too, but I believe you can get your crochet hook at Hobby Lobby and your yarn at Hobby Lobby or at Walmart. It's not too expensive. To start off, you get your hair tie, you grab the color of yarn that you want your scrunchie to be, and you are going to make a slip knot. So take the yarn, wrap it around your fingers, pull the yarn underneath, and then just pull it tight to create a loop. And now grab your hook, place it in the loop. You can pull the shorter string to make the loop smaller. Now grab your hair tie, place the hook under the hair tie, grab the yarn and the hair tie with your fingers. This is how I like to hold it, but people can hold it many different ways, so figure out which way is comfortable for you. You're going to go underneath the hair tie, grab the yarn, so you can bring it like this. Grab the yarn again and pull it through those 2 loops, and that will create a single crochet. You're going to do it again. Go underneath the hair tie, grab the yarn, grab the yarn again, pull through to create a single crochet. I know it's a little hard to see because the hair tie is black and the yarn's black, but this is so that way when you make your scrunchie, you won't be able to see the hair tie. And so you have 2 single crochets, and every time that you do this, you want to push it together. The closer your single crochets are, the more scrunch that your scrunchie will have. And so you're gonna repeat single crochets all the way around until you're satisfied with how many single crochets you have. I'll show you guys one more time. Underneath the hair tie, grab the yarn till you have 2 loops, go underneath the yarn again and pull it through those 2 loops, and then push all of them together. And now keep on going around the whole thing until you come back to this side. Once you have single crocheted all the way around your hair tie, you're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch that you did. So it looks kind of like a braid. So right here, and you can't really see it that well, this is my first stitch that I made. So I'm going to go underneath it, grab my yarn, and pull through both loops. And that creates your slip stitch. And now from here, we are going to do 3 double crochets into each stitch that we have. So what a double crochet is you wrap the yarn around the hook first, and then you go into the next stitch that you have on your hair tie. So you're gonna go into your next stitch, which looks like a braid, so each one that you see, that's one stitch. And then you're gonna grab your yarn to where you have 3 loops here. You're gonna go underneath your yarn again, pull it through the first 2 loops. The first 2 loops that you have, so now you have 2 more loops. Go underneath the yarn again, pull through, and that's 1 double crochet. You're gonna do 2 more in the same stitch. So it's important to remember that 3 in 1 stitch. So here, this is where the first one is, and I'm gonna go 2 more times in that one. So again, double crochet, so wrap around the yarn, go through your stitch, grab the yarn again, pull through till you have 3 loops, go underneath the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, grab the yarn, and pull through the other 2 loops. And that's 2 double crochets. Now we're gonna do 1 more in the same stitch. So go underneath, go through the stitch, pull the yarn through, go underneath the yarn, pull through the first 2 stitches, go underneath the yarn, and pull through the last 2. Now that's 3 double crochets in the first stitch. So now I'm gonna move on to the second stitch, which is right next to it. So let me see if I can show you. You see this little gap that's right there? That is the second stitch. So I'm going to go or wrap my yarn and go into the next stitch to create my first double crochet in the second stitch. Go underneath the yarn, go through the first 2 loops, go underneath the yarn, and go through the last 2 hoops. 1. Underneath the yarn, through the stitch, grab the yarn, first 2 loops, grab the yarn, last 2 loops, 2. Go underneath the yarn, through the same stitch, grab the yarn, through the first 2 loops, grab the yarn, through the last 2 loops. 3 double crochets. And you're gonna do that for each stitch that you have along your hair tie. Once you've reached the end, then you're just going to slip stitch into the first stitch that you see. So I'm going into the first stitch, grabbing the yarn, pulling through, and pulling through the loop that you have. And now from here, we are going to single crochet, and then we're going to add the ears. So for here, I kind of like to look where I want my first ear to be. Like, let's say I want it here, then I'd count how many from that spot to where I started from. And so I usually calculate it to be about 29. So I'm going to count, or I'm going to stitch 29 single crochets upwards. So you're gonna go through the first stitch that you see, and you're gonna go through the first stitch, grab your yarn, pull 2 loops, go underneath the yarn, grab, pull through. That's 1 single crochet. And I'm going to continue to do 29. So I've just come to my 29th stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch. So go underneath the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull through to create the slip stitch. And now we are going to add our second color. So grab some scissors, and then just cut some yarn, or cut the yarn off. And now to make a knot, you simply grab this yarn with the hook and pull it through the loop, and then just pull it tight, and that'll create a knot. So now we are going to grab our second color. What you're going to do is you're going to create a slip knot like what we did to start off this whole scrunchie. Wrap around 2 fingers, and then pull the yarn behind, and you have your slip knot. So now we are going to go back, it's stuck on my finger. We're going to go back and into the stitch that you had slip stitch. So right here you see that hole, that's where I'm going to put my hook in, and I'm going to go through the loop that I made on my second yarn, and we're going to pull through. You don't want to pull all the way, just to where the knot is there. Now we are going to do what's called a half double crochet. So just like how we started our double crochet, you are going to wrap the yarn around the hook. You're going to go through the same stitch that your red, or in my case, the red yarn is, to where you just inserted your new color. You're going to go in that same stitch, grab the yarn, bring it out, and now as you can see I have 3 loops attached to my hook. And now you're gonna grab your yarn again and pull through all 3 loops. That's 1. You're gonna do 2 in the same stitch. So that's 1. And now that's 2. Now we're gonna go into the next stitch, and we're gonna do the same thing, but we're only gonna do 1. So go underneath the yarn to grab, go into the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull through, and pull through all 3 loops. So grab your yarn, pull through all 3. And now we are going to go back into the same stitch. Okay, so that was 1. And now we are going to do 2 double crochets. So now double crochet, we are going to grab our yarn before, insert the same stitch, grab your yarn, pull through. Now we have 3 loops, but instead of going through all 3, we're going to grab our yarn, go through the first 2, and then go through our last 2. That's 1. We're going to do another one. So grab your yarn, go through the same stitch, grab, go through the first 2 loops, go through the last 2 loops. That's 2. Now the last thing we're going to do in this one stitch is a triple crochet. I believe that's what it's called, but let me show you how we're going to do that. So you're going to wrap like if we're doing a double crochet, and then you're going to wrap again. So we have like 3 little loops here, and then you're going to insert in the same stitch that we did those double crochets, and you're going to grab your yarn, pull through, and now here you see we have 4 little loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops that you have. Now we have 3 left. Grab your yarn, pull through the next 2 loops. Now we have 2 left. Grab your yarn and pull through those 2. And that's 1 triple crochet. Now we're going to do another triple crochet, but we are finally going to go into the next stitch. So go underneath the yarn, go underneath the yarn, go through the next stitch, grab your yarn, so you have 4 loops, grab your yarn, go through the first 2 loops, grab your yarn, go through the next 2 loops, grab your yarn, go through the last 2 loops. Now we are going to do 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So go underneath. This time we're not going to do it twice because that would be a triple crochet, so just once. Go in the same stitch, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2, pull through the next 2. 1. Wrap, go through the same stitch, grab, pull through the first 2, pull through the last 2. 2. Now we are going to do 1 half double crochet in the same stitch. So wrap, go through the same stitch, grab your yarn again, and pull through all 3 of these loops that you see. So pull through all of them. As you can see, this is starting to create the ear shape. We just need to do 2 more half double crochets, but this time we're gonna go to the next stitch and the next stitch. So this is the next stitch, and that's 1 half double crochet, and then go into the next stitch and do another. Yeah, sometimes your yarn can, like the threads can get caught, you just gotta kind of be careful with that. And now we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch. So go through the stitch, grab your yarn, and pull through the loop. This is a slip stitch. And now we are going to make a knot, so cut off a little bit of the yarn, grab it, and then pull to make a knot. And that is 1 ear completed. Cute, right? Okay. And now I like to do about my other ear about like 7 stitches away from the first one. And so now we're gonna go back into your first color. You're gonna create your slip knot. You're gonna insert your hook right where you made this knot. And you're going to pull the yarn through. Now I'm just gonna kind of chain 1, so just grab your yarn and pull through that one to hold it in place. Now I'm gonna go 7 single crochets across, so single crochets. So just go into the next stitch, grab your yarn, and then pull through 1. I'm gonna cut a little bit and grab that yarn and pull it through, make your knot. And then we're gonna do the same exact thing that we did here, but for the other ear. So now you have your 2 ears crocheted on. And now we're gonna go last time into the first yarn that you used. So make your slip knot, go through where you made your knot right there. Insert your crochet hook, add on a new yarn, pull through, and then chain just 1. So go grab and pull through. Then go, and then you're gonna single crochet in each stitch until you get to the end. And so you'll know it's the end when you see your little tail that we had in the beginning. Now we're just gonna single crochet in each stitch until we get to the end of our scrunchie. Grab, pull through. Once you've reached the end of your scrunchie, just simply slip stitch into the next one. And now you're gonna make your last knot. So cut your yarn and pull through, or make your knot. So now your scrunchie is all but done, but as you can see, we have these pesky and annoying little pieces of yarn where we cut. And what I like to do with this is I like to just go through any stitch that I see and then grab the yarn and simply pull it through to like hide it within the scrunchie. So, and then you would keep on pulling through your stitches until the string is hidden. And that is your Crunchie all complete. As you can see, it looks really cute. It's fun. This can make a really good gift for any cat lover. I'm currently wearing one that I made a while ago. Bye.